everybody, I just wanted to talk to you about a really fun reading challenge that my friends and I made for ourselves this year. So we decided that we were going to do Avoid the Store in 2024 because we already own a ton of books. Let me tilt this camera up so you can see the top of my bookshelves. They're floor to ceiling, and they're full, and I have more shelves out in the hallway. So we decided that as a group, we wanted to challenge ourselves to actually read our TBR instead of continuously buying books and adding them to our piles here. So I had like 190 books on these shelves that I have not read yet, and I was on the low end. Some of my friends had even more, and that was not counting their Kindles. I don't have a Kindle, I'm a physical book reader. So that is why we came up with the Avoid the Store in 24, and we decided that obviously we all don't read at the same pace, we don't read the same length of books, and we just wanted a way to kind of help hold each other accountable to trying to get through our TBRs or make a dent in them. I'm not gonna be able to read 190 something books in a year. It's just not how I read. So we all made up our own rules. I have to read 8 books before I can buy a new one. And with that, if we break one of our rules, which really is just buying a book before we've earned it, we have to donate to charity. So that way we felt like we were still doing something good, even though we were buying books for ourselves. We wanted to give something back in return. So we did that. I have paid 6 times. One of those was the weekend when all of us were here in Oklahoma City, and we did a bookstore book trail type thing where we went to all the independent stores, and I bought a lot of books. But we made those books half price. Everyone got to pick their own charity. Everybody got to pick their own donation amount based on what they felt comfortable doing within their own budgets. And it's been a lot of fun. We all just message each other all the time, and we'll say, oh, I screwed up. I went to the bookstore. Here's my book haul. Here's what I owe. And it's been great. Each of us got to pick auto-buy authors. So these are authors that no matter where we were in our budgets, no matter where we were and what we've earned, we were buying those books. And I've only had maybe 1 or 2 of those that have actually released a book this year. Anything we pre-ordered in 2023 did not count against us because we didn't decide to do this till towards the very end of 24. So anything that was a pre-order did not count against us. I think most of us agreed that if it was part of a series, you already had book 1, then you could buy book 2 without feeling guilty about that because it was part of a series. But the best part was that we could tailor it to our own needs. Like, my best friend Rachel reads, like, way more books in a month. She reads, like, 10 or 12 in a month. So her goal was higher of when she was allowed to buy a book. Versus mine was only 8. And birthdays, you could buy yourself a book for your birthday. That was allowed. You could do a book haul for your birthday and not have it count against you. I think almost all of us have paid to charity at this point. I picked my charity, being an Oklahoman, I picked a charity that focuses on missing and endangered and murdered Indigenous women because I felt like that was a cause that was close to home and could help here locally as well as throughout the country. And I'm also a true crime girly, so I feel like that was a really logical choice for me on what to pick. But I will show you here in a second what my current scoreboard looks like. It's actually 1 book behind, so there should be 1 more on that list. I've read 20 books this year, and I have indeed paid my breaking my rules, and you'll see that as well. So if you would like to join us in the last half of 2024, you can make your own rules and just see how many books you can read off your TBR before you buy a new book at the end of the year. Go for it. If you don't want to join us, that's fine too, but we just wanted to try to do something as a group. That was a little bit of a reading challenge for us without it kind of dictating exactly what everybody had to do the same. And watching everybody come up with their own rules was actually hilarious. And we would send them to each other in our group chat and be like, okay, we got it. We're going to ask you about it. And everyone's been awesome about holding each other accountable. You know, it's a good message when everyone's like, well, I owe money. And then they send you the book haul. So it's super fun and just a way to kind of encourage us to read our TBRs. So I will show you now what my challenge looks like so far. I'll be sure to keep you posted on how the remainder of my Avoid the Store in 24 reading challenge goes. Talk to you soon!